Hello gamers and welcome back. I'm Rob, of course, or Warjack if you want to call me by my in-game name. And today at the BlizzCon convention, they had announced the next Hearthstone expansion, which they mentioned earlier in the week that they were going to, and they released Kobolds and Catacombs. Looks pretty exciting in my opinion, and it gives me the same kind of feel I got for League of Explorers, if any of you were around when that was released and the cinematic for that was around, or not around, but you know, we watched it for the first time. So they have the cinematic here on their homepage. Again, very similar feel to, you know, finding treasure and glorious items and, you know, loots and all that good stuff, surviving deadly encounters, you know, very Journey to League of Explorers like. So I would recommend watching that. It's a pretty good cinematic trailer. But besides that, there's a lot more information in regards to what they announced today. I'll go over each thing. So in a nutshell, we're going to be going over the dungeon runs, the legendary weapons, the new keyword, and a couple cards that they had shown today in regards to the expansion. Keep in mind that all of this information you can read off the Blizzard page. Last time when I had made the Knights of the Frozen Throne review and covered this stuff, people were like, Rob, you didn't give us any new information. It's like, I don't have special Rob information. I have the information that's given through the internet, and then we cover that information for those of you who don't want to sit here and read, you know, 5 pages. They just want, you know, someone like me to be like, yo, this is cool, do it, or this is dumb, don't do it. So you're more than welcome to read this yourself. So dungeon runs. So as we know, Knights of the Frozen Throne, you could go ahead and beat the Lich King through your classes, and you got a special paladin class, right? So this one actually has dungeon runs, which it kind of is its own special feel. It really seems cool in not a new direction, but it's like they haven't done this before, which makes it cool. Like with the Knights of the Frozen Throne, we beat bosses before. We beat them with different heroes. It's very similar, you know, Naxxramas was very similar to that and things of that nature. There was nothing new there going on other than the bosses, but the style was the same. So dungeon runs actually, I guess I'll explain this as best as I can, but of course you can read it. You get to pick the class that you want to pick. I believe there's 10 different bosses, and then from there, as you beat the boss, you make your 10 cards that were pulled from a pool of 48 stronger. So as you're building a stronger deck yourself from the cards that were given to you, you actually beat the bosses, you get even stronger cards, and then of course the bosses themselves are getting stronger. So you got to make your way through the catacombs. Okay, 1 out of 8, I lied, there's only 8 bosses. But you make your way through there, you build a strong deck, you fight against strong opponents, and it's really cool in my opinion. That's a really cool thing to do. And then if you beat the catacombs, all 8 bosses with all of the 9 classes, you actually unlock the card back here, which it's not the coolest looking card back in my opinion. I think they could have, you know, made it a lot cooler. It has like rats on either side and it's kind of like cupcake like, but I'll be doing it anyway because I'm sure it's going to be fun, but the reward is kind of lackluster. I'm not sure at the end of each boss that you defeat with each class, maybe you'll get like a card or a pack or something like that. I'm not sure. That hasn't been said, but I'm sure you'll get some formal reward other than just the card back for completing this. Maybe a legendary weapon from each class, which we're going to move on to here in a second. Again, here's a close-up of the card pack for beating it with all 9 classes. So, legendary weapons, the Dragon Soul, this is the Priest legendary weapon. It's a 3-mana 0/3 after you cast 3 spells in a turn, summon a 5/5 dragon. Makes sense, Priest, dragons, casting spells. Priests have cheap spells, makes dragons, gonna be good. It's gonna be a really good weapon. And keep in mind, each class is actually getting their own legendary weapon. That's really cool. So now, if we've seen the past couple expansions, there's been 2 legendary cards per class. You know, if we're looking back at the Journey to Un'Goro, we had the quests and then the normal. This past one, we had the Death Knight DK and then you know, just a normal legendary. So in this expansion, we're going to have the normal legendary that all class gets, and then of course the legendary weapon as we see here, as this is the priest one. Currently, this is the only legendary weapon out. It's really good. I'm expecting all of the legendary weapons to be, you know, pretty fucking good. I would hope it's a legendary card and them to fit in a particular deck. This one obviously fitting into Dragon Priest, which will be pretty cool. And yeah, so that goes for legendary weapons. And then I believe this is the last thing on the table before we get into the release date, which we'll get into in a second. The Martin Fox. So if you went to BlizzCon or you got a virtual ticket, you actually get a golden Martin Fox or Marin Fox. Sorry, Marin the Fox. You guys are gonna yell at me, but anyway, name doesn't matter. Everybody gets this guy for free if you sign in starting this upcoming Monday. You can read through. It says the dates here. Where are the dates? Yeah, starting Monday, November 6th, up until the Catacomb launches. So anytime between November 6th and what is most likely going to be, let's pull up the date here. Right here. Probably it's going to be, this is going to be released either the 5th of December or the 7th of December. It's going to be in between these two dates. Somewhere, it's going to be this date, or this date, 5 through 7, somewhere in there. So you have basically a month to get on and get this guy for free. He's an 8 mana 6/6 Battlecry, summon a 0/8 treasure chest for your opponent, and then you would kill that treasure chest to break open the loot, and the loot are as these cards right here. You get a 3 mana 6/6 taunt, replace your hand with legendary minions, very similar to the Golden Monkey Elise used to give. A 3 mana draw a card, fill your hand with copies of it, which is insane. 3 mana draw 3 cards, reduce their cost to 0. This card is crazy. And then the Crown, discover a legendary minion, summon 2 copies of it. So these are really high caliber cards right here. I would have to say this Golden Kobold is probably the least of the powerful. I would have to say the Wand or the Crown are the best ones here. So that's pretty good. So let's back on out. The next thing we're going to talk about is In Good Company. It's the new mechanic, which is called Recruit. So they gave us our first warrior card, 6 mana, recruit a minion. Recruit a minion, it pulls a random minion from your deck and puts it on the battlefield, from what I understand. So basically you play a big warrior. You play like Gather the Party, and you get, you know, Hellscream, Ysera, stuff like that. Very similar to, I'm trying to think of it, Shadow Essence with Priest. You know, you don't actually pull the card from your deck, you randomly generate a random minion from your deck, and it's found in Big Priest. But this actually pulls the minion itself from your deck, so it thins your deck for you. So pretty cool there. Of course, with every new expansion comes with a new map, which, did they show the map here? I don't think they have. It might be at the top. Let's check it. Yep, there's the new map here. So you get a new map to play on. I'm sure it has its own cool interactions. And then the pre-order for 50 bucks to get you 50 packs. I don't recommend buying this, guys. You get a card back that looks like shit, in my opinion. Like, for $50 fucking dollars, you better give me a better card back than, can I zoom in on this? They don't even want you zooming in on it because it looks so crappy, but I'll find a way. Here we go. Take a look at this. Is this worth $50? I mean, you get packs too, but obviously, like, a good selling point is having a solid card back. And while it looks like kind of cool, you need to have a thicker fucking card back. It needs to make me rock solid. You know what I'm talking about? So I don't recommend doing this. If you're going to do it, go through Amazon, buy Amazon coins, and you get more packs, better bang for your buck, and you don't fall into the pre-order, you know, giving them money before you've actually seen the content kind of thing, which I have a big problem with. I mean, again, I've fallen prey to the pre-order. It's happened. I've done it, and I feel bad about it. But now I'm smart. Amazon coins is a thing, and we actually save money there. So I would recommend doing that if you don't want to pre-order. So with that wraps up basically everything as of now that I know about the Kobolds and Catacombs. Like we always do, guys, as more stuff gets released, as more cards get released, we review them, we go over them, we talk about them, and every expansion we kind of get a little bit better at reviewing cards because we kind of know what to look for because we've done so many reviews. But again, some of these cards we're drastically wrong about, and it's fun to go back and watch them, which we've done recently with Knights of the Frozen Throne, Rob reviews. If you haven't seen any of those, it's pretty good time. So with that, thanks you for watching. Really looking forward to expansion, just like every other one. It's always a good time playing with all the new cards, which of course we'll do when day 1 hits. And with that, again, catch you in the next episode, guys, and I look forward to seeing you there. As always, I'm Robert Warshak, and happy whatever the hell day it is.